Hello and welcome to Screamfest 2017. Screamfest in Burton. It's another night of scares for us here at UK Theme Parks. And here we are, we're inside. So in the background you'll see FreakOut. It's a clown maze, people. It's a clown maze. However, we've had 3 fantastic clown mazes so far this year in the Big Top and whatever 2 we had at Tully's. So really good news, really good news. We're feeling the clowns tonight. So we have 5 mazes to do here. Including our favourite maze from last year. So of all the adventures we took last year, our favourite maze was right over there in Love Hurts, and we cannot wait to get back into it today. So we'll be experiencing Love Hurts, our favourite maze from last year. It had wonderful detail, it had kind of gore and graphics, and a brilliant chainsaw ending. So as we go around today, we will be giving you our reviews as we go in and as we come out, so you can get an exact kind of what's going on. So the mazes we have, Soul Seekers, what we remember we didn't particularly like last year, but we will be trying it this year. FreakOut the Clown one. There it is, love that. Love Hurts, can't wait for that. And 2 new mazes. Dear Dealum, I don't know what it says. I can't lie to you, I don't know what it says. But Festival of the Living Dead, and we like dead festivals. So we'll be looking forward to that. And I've heard great things about Demonica as well. So give your soul to Demonica, new scare of 2017. So they're the 5 mazes. This is what we'll be experiencing tonight. Where do we start? Where do we start? Well, we're going to have a little look around. We're going to get accustomed to it, because it's only the second year running we've come here. We want to thank Burton for the tickets tonight. They've done an amazing job, and we're going to do the best we can, and we're going to give them the best review we can, because we know it's going to be a great night. Stay with us. We're going to go and scream. Right, so it's all coming flooding back to us now. Soul Seekers just here. We'll pan around and see that. We did like that one last year. We did like it. It was whatever was over there. Someone's going to tell me, because I can't remember, but over here now you'll see DJ booth, and you'll see where the new attractions are. The outdoor one, whatever it was, we didn't like last year, but these 2 were our favourites. So we're not going to start here because we know they're good. Well, we're still expecting them to be good. It's not quite dark enough yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go head over to FreakOut and get the clowns out the way, because the clowns are all indoors. It looks like both of these are outdoors. We really haven't read anything about these, because we want to be just as surprised as what everyone else is when they come. But it looks like the 2 new mazes are outdoors, and then we know these 2 are indoors as well. So we're going to head over to FreakOut, and we're going to start with the clowns. Right, I'm going to have to start eating my words, because that was hilariously scary fun. FreakOut, I don't remember it much from last year, but it's just a corridor of just rooms going the wrong way, and we got lost several times inside. There's loads of doors you can choose. There's kind of right way, wrong way, safe way, evil clown, good clown, you know, and when you want to take maybe the slightly evil route, sometimes you come a bit of a cropper. So when you go through a door labelled the wrong way, it actually doesn't open, so you do go the wrong way. You have to go through the right door. But it's really, really weird, and honestly, I've never seen so many actors inside a scare maze. There must have been 12, 15 inside, and they are everywhere, absolutely everywhere. There are a lot of jumps in there, a lot of jumps, a lot of moments where they come out on you, a lot of moments where they're coming through walls, secret passage holes. You know, they've got air guns which they're firing at you. There's massive balls with strobe light area, kind of just flinging them at you, and you're kind of getting out of the way while there's 3 or 4 actors there kind of pushing you in the right way. Some of them look really, really weird. I mean, the evil clown looked amazing, absolutely amazing. And just after them, there was this massive guy that kind of looked like a baby, but was just massive. You got a strobe light finish, you can probably see just there through some ropes. They just chase you everywhere. There's lots of hidden passageways. We went wrong 3 or 4 times, and we had to be directed the other way in a great way, not just a get over there sort of way, just in a, you know, hide and seek, follow me way. Really, really top notch. And again, it's topped our favourite clown maze of the year so far. So massive, absolutely massive. So happy with that. It's a great start. We weren't expecting it to be as good as what it was, but honestly, real fun, whilst creepy, and a lot of jumps and scares along the way as well. Brilliant. So, well, it's already got a lot to live up to, because that's only our first maze done. We've only got 1 little tick. on our wristband. So it's got a little bit darker now, so we're going to walk over to Demonica and perhaps have a look at that and just see how dark it's going to need to be before we get on it. But yeah, great start to the night, great start. Let's move on. So this is going to be our second maze of the night. Here de los Muertos. I actually have no idea what it's about. I can't even pronounce it, let alone what's about. So we're going to try this. It's one of the new mazes for 2017. We're kind of looking forward to it because the one that was here last year was terrible. I say terrible, we didn't particularly enjoy it. It's not raining at the moment. It's supposed to rain most of the evening, but I can nearly see stars, so maybe it might hold off for our visit, which will be great because we got soaking wet today at Alton Towers. So fingers crossed, this will be a lot better. We'll keep it rolling as we walk in so you can see a bit of the scenery. We haven't seen it yet. You'll be seeing it for the first time with us. It's a tent. We like tents. Also, we'll take a look on the right actually and have a quick look at Demonica from the side as well. But we will be going over to that one. We'll be going over to that one shortly. So here's the entrance here. We're going to be going in now and we'll give you our thoughts as soon as we get out. But that was that maze, and rather than me try and pronounce it again, even though they said it many times in there, we'll just call it what it is, which was the Day of the Dead maze. Now I vaguely remember it when we did our show and we were kind of preparing for it. So you're heading over there, so if you take a look at that side, that's where you go in. Much like before, you still get on a big tractor ride. The tractor takes you right the way round the back, and you might see in the background, you might see the flashing lights. So the flashing lights are a police van or ambulance which is carrying someone that's been murdered, and it's kind of like a scene down there. The sheep surround it, it looks fantastic. And you then come out over here on the right hand side. So just where this light is over here now, where the alpacas are, anyone that knows our channel knows we love alpacas, so we did say hello to them on the way through. Just over there, that's where you enter the maze, and then it's basically a cornfield as you go through. Very similar to last year. You kind of enter, they kind of meet and greet you, tell you what it's all about and everything like that, and then you sort of head into the maze. Now there was quite a big dead spot, in fairness, inside. We walked for probably about 45-60 seconds without seeing anyone, and you know, when you're at a scare maze, that's not particularly good. However, from then it did pick up massively. We kind of went through a kind of a Mexican themed wrestling area. I don't really know how to describe it, I can't lie to you. And there were people with chainsaws and there's people with air pistols kind of firing at you. You then went into a couple of different rooms. They were very, very strange. And I think the only problem is that you do have members of staff there kind of stopping the groups going ahead. On one fact, it's good because you don't bump into each other and you get the full effect. On other facts, you know, it's just like, all right there mate, can you just hang on please? And it does a little bit ruin the effect. It's definitely better than last year, much more fun than last year. The ending which you see there, you might hear it again in a second. You walk through these horrendous blue lights, not as in bad, but the way they flash, they're much more blinding than the average strobe light. Once you're through there, this guy with a chainsaw just kind of chases you out the back end of the maze. Now, there must have been 6 or 7 people in there with chainsaws, plus a couple with air pistols and various other, you know, kind of bits and pieces going on as well. There's quite good lighting, there's some dark moments, there's some quite light moments, there's some kind of interaction, and then there's some, you know, some all-out kind of scares. It's definitely not the scariest maze here. It's a great entry maze, it's all outdoors as you can see in the background here. The tractor ride kind of gets you in the mood as a Mardi Gras sort of party time. So you had a bit of Despacito, then you had a bit of Shakira, and you know, everyone's partying on board before you get off, and all of a sudden it gets a little bit serious. But again, they look fantastic, much like in FreakOut. They look fantastic, they look really, really good. You can probably hear the air gun in the background now, which means you're about to hear the chainsaw as well as people start running out. We'll have a look at people running out. Yeah, as you can see, they're a little bit terrified running out, greeting their friends like, you know, they've survived. Now, behind us here, we see Demonica, which is the next place we're going to go in. We'll take a shot of it now, even though we've got to walk all the way back around and back through the other entrance, because this is a great shot of it. And we'll kind of have a look at the detail, actually. Let's have a look at the detail. In fact, before we do that, let's have a look at the tractors. So the tractor's coming back round. This is kind of your Mardi Gras tractor. It's coming back round after dropping people off. And you'll see the actress on the back as well that talks to you and kind of dances all the way around. did wave, but she's just giving me this really weird grin, actually. Maybe a bit seductive, who knows. Right, have a look over there though, because this looks brilliant. By the looks of that, we could be going through different doors. There are 4 doors there, and some guys staring at me. They do like to stare here, I've noticed that. So we're going to head round now, we're going to do Demonica. That was good, it wasn't as good as FreakOut. It's probably not going to be the best maze of the night, certainly in terms of scariness, but it was definitely entertaining, much better than last year. The grass is soaking, we're going to move slightly over a bit, but it was definitely better than last year's tent, so thumbs up on it. Entertaining, outdoors, it's not raining, a little bit sludgy underfoot. I've now got a soaking wet trainer. That aside, we're going to walk around and we're going to hit Demonica. So we're in the same place, but that's only because the exit to Demonica is there, not because we didn't go through it. We have been through it. Very, very creepy. So we went in door number 1. You'll see people queuing now. The lights that are above the door basically indicate to the people outside kind of which rooms are in use. So when you go in, you don't really know if you're supposed to go somewhere or not. There's kind of a lot of wood around you, but it's very, very dark. The floor lights up red, and all of a sudden the lights just sort of start flashing. Whilst they're flashing, kind of the ultraviolet light comes on and a massive Demonica sign is shown on the door and on the wood behind you. Very creepy music, very creepy lighting effects, very dark in there, and then all of a sudden when you kind of look around, the door opens and one of the actors are there. Now all the actors have kind of massive teeth, a massive mouth with loads of sets of teeth. Like, I don't know, for me, being my age, it's like Baraka from Mortal Kombat. Anyone knows Mortal Kombat will know exactly what I'm talking about, and if you don't, Google it now and you'll know exactly what they look like without me giving it away too much. Very creepy throughout. So kind of as you go through the maze, it's completely black. All the walls are black, and then there's a few kind of moments with lights, and there's a few sort of moments with people jumping out of windows at you, and then there's a few sort of moments where bits and pieces are going on. But we must stress, there's not a lot of light. Whilst there are a few moments where you get kind of, they're carrying little lights with them, either red ones or white ones, it is very, very dark in there. Very, very creepy. The music is very, very creepy, and the atmosphere itself is kind of a real scare atmosphere. There were some jumps, there were people coming out of windows screaming, there were people coming out of windows kind of in your face with their masks on. And then there's a strobe section at the end, which you kind of walk through with actors all around you. It is arguably one of the most creepiest mazes I've been in. I didn't particularly find it overly scary, but it was brilliant. It was brilliantly put together. It was brilliantly action. The actors, again, fantastic. The pre-show bit just inside there is really, really good and really sets up the maze as being sort of a creepy maze. Really impressed. Really, really impressed with it. Only thing I would say, it lacked a bit of a finale. Once you were kind of through the strobe light section, you just sort of exited there. So a real finale would have topped off what was an amazing beginning, you know, a really dark, very difficult to navigate maze middle, a nice strobe section. If it had that ending, it would be nigh on perfect. It's still very good, still very, very good. And again, highly recommended. Super creepy, super creepy. So we're now gonna head to Soul Seekers. We are gonna save Love Hurts till last, because that was our favorite maze last year. So the park's got really busy, which was kind of expected, to be honest, because it's Screamfest, and the reason why they have it on tonight is the fact the park's going to get busy. So we've now come outside, and we have done all 5 mazes. We've watched a bit of entertainment there. So, maze first. We did Soul Seekers first, which was a great maze last year and still great this year. So once you've walked in, you kind of walk in, it's like a hotel, if you will, but a very strange one. You kind of walk in, you have a kind of entrance hallway area where people sort of appear throughout strobe lighting, and then they kind of will gather around you before you get ushered into the next room. It's worth mentioning there's 5 or 6 actors in the first room alone, let alone the actual rest of it. 5 or 6 in the first room. All these mazes tonight have been really actor intensive, and there's just been loads around. You know, it's not a special night, it's not media or anything like that, it is just a general night, and it's been absolutely full of actors. From there you kind of go through the hotel bit, so you've got, you know, what you'd expect from standard walls and things, and you know, what you'd expect a hotel to look like, only a bit more messed up. There's a lot of blood on the wall, it's kind of peeling paint, all falling apart, you know, completely sort of bit horrified, to be honest with you. From there you sort of move into like a morgue area. All of a sudden there's blood and guts on the wall, there's blood and guts on the side, you know, it's all white curtains and plastic, and that's kind of where the finale hits. Again, it doesn't have an amazing finale, and that's probably the only criticism I'd have of the park, is that some of the mazes don't have amazing finale. They all look fantastic, every single one of them looks fantastic. Not only that, they you know, flow really well. You know, you rarely catch up the group in front of you, you're rarely sort of stuck anywhere, you rarely have to stop. It flows so well. Every single maze has flown really well, and they all look just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. This was no different. So you kind of make your way through, you kind of get to the end. There's not an amazing finale, but again, actor intensive really helps. You know, they really do kind of interact with you, and they really do, you know, get the scares out of you. And there are a few jumpy moments inside of it. You know, one part is where it's completely black and you're kind of treading on cushions on the floor. Not really sure what the bit's meant to be, but it's always a bit iffy underfoot. It always makes you feel a bit funny as you're walking around it, make sure you don't fall over. So that was Soul Seekers. We enjoyed Soul Seekers. From there, we moved on to our last maze, which was Love Hurts. Now, as you know, Love Hurts was our favourite maze completely last year. It's probably not going to hold that title this year. That's not to say there's anything wrong with it, but it hasn't changed at all. It hasn't changed at all. Now, we don't have a major problem with that, because we've gone in there. It's kind of a, you'll see on the video just a minute ago, it's kind of a rock sort of cafe, sort of bar area where I guess you would go to hook up with people, if you will. You then kind of move through to these disgusting toilets, and they are disgusting looking toilets. You know, the scenery in there is fantastic, and although there's no ceiling and you can see a bit of the barn and a little bit of it's outdoors, the detail is just amazing, and the first scene is just brilliant. Once you're from here, you kind of walk through, I don't really know if it's a club or what it is, but it's just horrific. Some horrific scenes, you know, there's dead bodies, there's blood on the wall, and it's kind of like more like you're murdering your loved one rather than sort of looking for your loved one, if you will. Nothing wrong with that, we don't mind that at all. Works very well as a maze, and that was absolutely fantastic again. So once you kind of get through it, you kind of go into a final room, there's barrels everywhere, a bit of blood. Again, 3 or 4 actors alone in the final room, and they kind of line you up, big white curtain, and it says a love behind here. Once it opens out, there's a guy with a chainsaw and he chases you out. It's still a fantastic maze, and you know, just brilliant. We really loved it. It's not probably going to be our favourite this year, because we've experienced some great mazes, including the ones here, but still easily rating top 3 of the mazes we've been in so far this year.
I'll let go. And at that point, I want you guys to throw the newspaper into the blaze. It's going to shred, it's going to rip, it's going to be like confetti, it's going to come down, it's going to look amazing. Plus, we're too cheap for pyrotechnics. Just so you know, if the lawnmower comes towards you, move. I will have a haircut you won't remember. Here we go, let's do this. So here's your cue. As soon as it's balanced, when I let go, that's your cue to throw. This is not going to last long. So get your phones, get your cameras ready.
Taken on then at the stage show, and we looked at Johnny Strange. We do hope you enjoyed Johnny Strange's performance, because we've just shown it. So he first puts an apple in his mouth and he tries to cut an X, but he always cuts a V, he tells us, with a chainsaw. One of the strangest routines I've seen. However, he does hold 2 world records for it. Not really sure what they are, but yeah, there we go. The second one was so memorable, I've already forgotten what it was. So the third one was a lawnmower. Now, the lawnmower is quite an interesting one, because he gets the lawnmower, he balances it on his chin, and then people have to throw shreds of paper into the lawnmower blades, which are running continuously while he's balancing it on his chin. Big spread of confetti, you know, that's probably a better word for it, confetti everywhere. That's the word I was looking for. Unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of people here that can't throw straight. So you'll see that it took him 3 attempts to do it, and out of those 3 attempts, only 1 person on the final attempt had to go through. So I feel a bit sorry for him, because he had a balance on his chin. He had a lawnmower running on his chin, kind of in the air, whilst he had no arms on it. So I feel a bit sorry for him, the fact that no one can throw a bit of paper into the blades. But when they did do it, it did look very, very good. So yeah, that's the entertainment. You'll have seen some of the street performers earlier on in the video. There's a couple of those moving around, including the big clown kind of advertising the Screamfest event, which you can have your picture taken with and then share on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc, etc. So yeah, been really, really good. Really enjoyed it. Let's go back in. So that's it. It is now raining, and we love a bit of rain. We've been in the rain all day, as we said earlier. The rain did held off really nicely for us to do most of the mazes, which was absolutely brilliant, because in the day we don't like getting wet. It is now raining slightly. So that's it. That's our night at Screamfest, and it has been an amazing night. We've been out already a couple of times this year. We've done both Tully's Parks, we've done Fort Park, we've got Chessington coming up, we've been to Alton Towers today, and now we've done the Screamfest as well. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. This has been one of our favourite events. And you know, the great thing about this place is all 5 mazes are very, very different. You know, you have a clown maze, which seems to be quite standard these days, but again, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You then have Love Hurts, which there's nothing like it. I can't think of another maze like this at all. It really is quite unique. You then kind of have the Soul Seekers. You know, there are a few hotel mazes around. Maybe it's not the best hotel maze, but again, the effects, the actors, they really sort of bring it together. Demonica was very creepy, very, very dark, very, very creepy. You know, great use of lights, great use of actors kind of popping out of windows. And then you had the kind of the Mardi Gras one as well, the Night of the Dead. So that was quite fun. I think we'll call it fun. It wasn't that scary. It wasn't that, you know, there were a few dead spots, but, you know, it's a great track to ride. It was all kind of good fun, a little bit of dancing, a little bit of kind of jolly and everything like that. So it was good. So 5 very, very different mazes. You know, sometimes you go to mazes and it's all very much jump out, jump out, jump out, jump out, scare them, scare them, scare them, special effects, strobe lights. You know, there have been a lot of chainsaws here tonight, but they've been used appropriately and they're not certainly used in every single maze. You know, the ones in the Mardi Gras maze there were loads of them, absolutely loads of them, coming out of bushes, coming out of mazes. The whole area is kind of a maze field. It's a really good use of them. It works well at the end of Love Hurts as kind of a final finale, and you know, it just brings it all together quite nicely. So yeah, it's really come together nicely. You know, the park is lovely inside. We got to see the alpacas. We do like to see the alpacas. You know, as a farm, it seems to function very well. We said about the how that everything was quite close together, and we'd really forgotten how close it is at Burton as well. Again, you can stand in one place and you can see the entertainment in all 5 of the mazes. But that's not a problem. You know, we got here quite early. The mazes opened early. They're advertised to 7. They actually opened at 6:30, and for the indoor maze, that's not too much of a problem. The fact it wasn't dark, even though it is dark now. You know, so we got in early. We got the bits done early. We get any 5 mazes we like. So, you know, if we didn't want to do all 5 mazes and we wanted to do just sort of 5 of the same maze, or maybe 2 and 3, or just 4 of them and do an extra one, we could do that on our bands. You're not restricted to just the 5 mazes as you walk in. They just literally sign off 1 to 5 and that's job done, which we think is a great idea. You know, this year, the one that we didn't like last year wasn't here, so we definitely wanted to try it. We have done all 5 mazes. We've gone back in, we've taken in a bit of street entertainment, we've taken in a few of the shows as well, and it's been brilliant. But brilliant, thank you very much, Burton. It was a fantastic evening. We will definitely be back next year. This is Scream Park, this is UK Theme Parks. My name's Adam. Really hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe, check out our other videos. We've got more coming from Halloween, we've got more coming from theme parks, and we've got lots of content planned for the closed season. Thank you for joining us.